One of the things I'm really proud of is getting back in the gym, like trying to maintain my fitness, my mental health, like getting into journaling and meditation. I feel as I did that, pretty well this year, especially when I've been traveling a lot. Welcome back to the Christmas edition of the Ben and Bergs Show with your co-hosts Ben and Bergs. Mate, how are you? Hope you had a great Christmas. How's holidays treating you?
Mate, feeling amazing. Like, I've been on holidays for just over a week now. It's been incredible. Eating amazing food, caught up with all my friends and my family. It has just been phenomenal. My body's actually de-stressing from work, and I've been having epic sleeps, been staying up late, having naps. It's been great, mate. How's your break been?
Yeah, no, I'm deep in holiday mode at the moment. I'm sort of slow, just de-stressing, as you said. It feels like a freight train, like slowly winding down. And you don't realize how tense and uptight you are around when you're working so much and you haven't had a bit of a break. And when you do take a break, I feel as though sometimes I'm anxious. I'm stressing out about nothing. Do I need to do something? What's the next thing to stress about? And it's there's nothing to worry about.
Mate, you were over it. By the end of it, you're just short, sharp. You just end this now. Death would be preferable.
Just limping, literally limping.
You hadn't had a break for a year. You're out, you're flying all around the world, you're raising capital, you're doing things you don't want to do, you're doing the hard thing, and now you finally get a break, mate, with your family. It sounds amazing.
And then you sit there and you're sitting on the beach and you're like, huh? What do I, do I need to be doing something? I struggle to sit down.
Isn't it weird where you start to get twitchy? You're like, hang on, all those neural pathways you've built over the year. And you're like, I should be working. I should be productive. I should be doing this. And it's so hard to fight that. But after a week or so, after you've fought it, you're like, you can finally relax.
Mate, let's go into our personal episode this one round because we're sort of already flowing into it.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to reflect on 2022? Do you do any yearly reflections? If you do, how do you do them? Because I usually do one. I haven't done mine yet. I feel as though I should have done it before I finished work. Now I'm in holiday mode. I'm like, I just can't be fucked. I'm just just want to sleep and watch Harry Potter.
I actually think that holiday mode is the perfect time to do it. Because if I do it when I'm in work and I'm really kind of, go, got to be productive, they're the kind of decisions that I'm going to make. Whereas if I have a week or preferably 2 off, then I've gotten rid of all those kind of really twitchy habits, and it's more myself and what I want to achieve. I think it's the best time to do it. So I'm going to do mine tomorrow or the day after.
Nice.
And I think the way I went about it last year was literally to journal for half an hour or an hour, get all the thoughts out. And then my mind is very clear, and then think about what I actually want to achieve for the next year. And for me, it's not necessarily I want this thing or I need to have this thing. It's more about how I want to live my life and how I feel. So it'll be things like, I want to be calmer or I want to be fitter. And there's many, many ways that I can achieve that. I think the year before, one goal that sticks in my head was to leave health. So the job that I was in and go for a job that I really wanted. It was unfortunate, I ended up at collective shift, but beggars can't be choosers. So. No, honestly, that was one of the best choices I've ever made. Choosing that uncertainty over unhappiness, and I've really enjoyed my time at collective shift. It's just been epic, right? And this is the thing, it didn't necessarily have to be collective shift, but I wanted to move away from the things that made me unhappy and start to do the things that made me really happy in my work. And that was my goal. So yeah, next couple of days, I'm going to be journaling and then start to write those out. And also get those goals and get my wife to do them as well, and then go through them together.
Yeah, nice.
So we can align over the year.
Nice.
How about you? How do you go about it?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I try to go back in my calendar and actually try and remember what the hell actually happened this year. Because sometimes I forget what I actually did sometimes. So going back in the calendar, sort of walking through, looking back on the goals I set, and even our company goals and company objectives to see what things we hit, what didn't we hit, and then areas to improve on. And I feel as though the things that I haven't done a full reflection yet, but one of the things I'm really proud of is the getting back in the gym, trying to maintain my fitness, my mental health, getting into journaling and meditation. I feel as though I did that, pretty well this year, especially when I've been traveling a lot. and then also like getting and doing more content. Like that was a big goal of mine. It's going to be one of my big focuses for next year, is to really double down on content, because I really see like we've only been like, well, I mean, even the Ben and Berg's pod we've been doing for about 6 months, but it feels like we're starting to like actually hit a bit of momentum now, and across the other platforms, like really seeing some results. And I really think that's going to be a key thing for me next year. Going back a year, I was too scared to do a podcast or get in front of the camera or tweet, and it was sort of all these things. And now, like I've got a long way to improve, but I really think next year I can really level up and just go like hit it out of the park.
That's awesome. Should we set a goal for Ben and Bergs? Like I've got one goal for Ben. So the first goal that I had for this year was just to do the pod and not stop. Yeah. Just keep doing the episodes, right? I didn't know how many we get to. I think we're at like 28 or 29 now, which is just amazing to think about. And I think my goal for next year, and the goal was just to have fun, right? That was the goal. My goal for next year for the Ben and Bergs pod is to get $1 in sponsorship.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a specific target. It is just to get $1. A sponsor. Yeah.
Can it be an affiliate link?
Oh, I haven't even thought of that.
Because I think we could earn $1. Actually, we kind of already have. So last week we had a listener sign up to Collective Shift through our Ben and Berg's affiliate link.
There you go.
So we have technically ticked that go. Now, it's not advertising. It was an affiliate link. So thank you. I can't remember who it was. Thank you for those that have been listening to the pod and signed up Collective Shift. But I agree. Maybe we should make that a goal of like, maybe a third party or, someone that's not someone that's not our own business paying us our own money. Like I said, like an external company.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Exactly. Because for me, that's we need a few things to get there. So we'll need more listeners. It's more validation about what we're doing. And then we could take any money that we have and then just give that. I want to give it back to the community. So that's either through events, education, sponsoring stuff, whatever it may be. And that'd just be really fulfilling for me.
One thing, my goal for the pod, and you and I have always had, we've wrote this down, like the number one KPI for the pod is we have to enjoy ourselves. And if we're not enjoying it, it's done. We're wrapping it up.
That's right.
But the second KPI for me is to get to 100 episodes. And that for me is a showcase that we've been consistent. Because one of the things I struggle with, I'm the shiny new object guy. Start something for a month or 2 months, sell and see the new shiny object, and I'm like, fuck that thing off and start something new. But, growth and results comes with consistency and just like keep adding out 1% day over day, week over week, month over month. And we've been going at it for 6 months. So our year will come up midway through next year. And if we can get to 100 episodes by the end of next year, I'll be really happy.
That's epic. And that's the thing, is working the system, adding those pearls time and time again.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed. Like, we haven't had an argument. I'm not pissed off at you. It's been pretty easy, mate. I thought I'd be like, I don't want to do this crap anymore. It's so much effort. But I actually look forward to it. And it's a lot of fun.
That's good. It's good having accountability.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I like the calendar thing that you said as well. Like looking at your calendar. When you were talking, if I look back at this year, like moving jobs was one big thing, but the other one was I sorted out like 98% of my health issues as well.
Yeah, nice.
Like all the gut problems I had, everything else, that's all sorted. And that was like a huge thing for me, as well as being the strongest I've ever been.
Yeah.
Like I'm definitely like super proud of those two things because they're very, very hard to do. Like, first of all, for me, getting in the gym and having consistency and not working out with ego and not injuring myself, just doing the boring thing time and time again, just going in there, doing it, and then building on it. And then the other one is sorting out my health, which is very challenging when you've got, everyone has health challenges, but when they're particularly, like, it's annoying. You go to your GP and they're like, yeah, go to this specialist and go here, then go there. And you go down this path and like, you either give up or, you keep going. And for this one, I ended up keep going, saw the specialist, did all the tests, even though some of the tests were pretty hard, and then actually got a result and was able to fix all of those. And now my life is just 10 times better already.
That's everything.
So keep doing the hard thing. And it's hard to keep up year after year after year. But if you do, then you live a much better life. So I'm trying to build on that.
So one of the other things, Bergs, I do at the start of every year is I actually write a fantasy story for my life for the end of the following year. So I write in first person what my life feels like at the end of the year. It's fascinating.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
How long's this story, mate?
Just like what's this one, like 4 paragraphs. And it's super fascinating to read back. Maybe next episode, once I've actually had time to, maybe actually let's do that next episode. How about once we go through and reflect on the year and we look at our following year? Let's do that for the pod. Let's actually say how we went with our goals and what our goals are for next year.
That'd be awesome. This is like what Joe Rogan says about you are the hero in your own movie. So people don't realize that the world only exists in our head. So the way that we see the world, no one else sees it like that or experiences the things that we do. And you could just write your story. This is the thing about being a human. It's choose your own adventure. You could just quit your life tomorrow, move to Mexico and become a bodybuilder. Like you could just do that. Yeah. It's so amazing that you're not stuck somewhere. You can travel, you can do whatever you want to do. And we forget that. Sometimes we feel trapped, like we're on a path. We've got this inertia. I have to achieve these things. I've been working at this mining company for 10 years. I have to do this project and then I have to get on this and then I have to build that. You don't. You can be whatever you want to be. You're the hero in your own movie.
I love that, man. I really do, because I think so many. This was actually off the back of my talk. So I did that talk at the high school the other day, and like it really was around like following your own path, taking the journey that is unique to you. You don't need to follow anyone else's journey. Like you are the author of your own story. Get out there and just get amongst it. And that was like the core of the story that I was trying to give around. No one else is going to fight for your goals, your dreams on your own. Like. For you know what I mean? Like you're the only person that can make that happen. Yeah. And one other thing back to the goals thing I found is like, even if you forget about them, like to be honest, I just like put up my goals here that I actually, to be honest, mate, I actually forgot that I even had, because I sort of stopped looking at about midway through this year. That's when my life kind of got flipped up. You know, became single and then started traveling. That was like, I was like I've had 2 lives this year, like first half of the year, second half. But it's fascinating going back and reading where you thought you'd be and even where you were at the start of this year, like, the end of 2021, and go, holy fuck, like, man, you start to really reflect on like where you come. Like, mate, what about you? You go back a year ago, you're working in corporate, you hated your job, you knew you had skill sets you could give to someone else, or like to a startup company, you wanted to have like more ownership. And you and I weren't even really working together at the time. We had that sort of, there was a bit of a break, that shit was going on and whatever. Now a year on, like...
It's wild. Just looking back at what we've done in the company is just incredible. Like when we did those look backs in November when we had the strategy days and we're like, we achieved this, it's like, holy shit, like that's an incredible amount. If you had an employee that came to you and said, we've done all this stuff, you'd be like, mate, this is amazing. And it was all the executives and their areas of the business. It's just incredible the amount of effort that we put in, but also the result that we've had too.
So one other thing I do when I set up my goals is I set up goals. I only did it for the first time last year. Create a big piece of paper and I write down different areas of my life. So it'll be like personal, career, money, health, whatever else it might be, like outdoors or whatever, and different areas. And then I'll have my name in the middle, and then I'll write down just dot points under each thing, and start to set up like my goals for different areas, work related as well. Because what I found is when I started doing my goals, it was all work related. I was like, okay, well that's not really helpful. You need to set your goals in different areas.
Yeah, this is the big thing when we sit down. What do we want to achieve? We always go to work. So in Western kind of life, it's very, what do you do? How much money do you make? What do you have? And generally in Eastern life, it's more like, how do you feel? What's going on kind of thing. Yeah. Like, are you calm? How are your relationships? And think about this. If your goal is to get to a CEO and earn $1 million salary, let's say by the end of the year, you get there. Great. What does that mean for your life? You got $1 million. What did you have to sacrifice along the way? What happens to your health? What happens to your relationships? Your friendships? What happens to all of these aspects of your life that you've sacrificed and traded? Like, is that a good trade for you? Will that make a big difference? Will you just want $2 million the next year? And I think people generally tend to chase productivity rather than fulfillment. So there's one piece of advice that, I constantly give myself and have to remind myself, as may help listeners as well, is to chase the things that will make you fulfilled and happy rather than productivity or money. Unless you're absolutely destitute of money, will change your life, right?
Yeah.
You know, those things where you get fulfillment and you keep going no matter what. And that's something I find with Collective Shift, where it fucking sucks running a startup. And it sucks running a crypto startup. It's even harder, especially with the current market conditions. It really sucks. And having a salary and having some equity is not really going to keep you there, because you can get those things elsewhere and it'll be much easier than working in these conditions. What keeps you there is wanting to achieve something, getting people into crypto and feeling fulfilled. Day after day, they're the things that keep you going, not those kind of, you know, external motivating factors.
100%. Speaking of accountability, mate, how are you going with your dunking? Give us a progress update.
Mate, okay, so before I do the progress update, I've been called out, mate. So I got my mate JB. Shout out to JB. What's going on, lad? And he's a hater, mate. He came up to me and he's just like, mate, you got no chance of doing this. You're in your late 30s. Look, I'm 1 year away from being 40. And he's like, you got no chance of dunking. Men in their 30s, no chance, mate. And I'm like, okay, lad, all right. And he goes, but look, okay. If you get there within 6 months, I'm going to put $1,000 on a bar tab for Benenberg's meetup. And he hates Elon Musk. And he's going to have a shirt that says, I love Elon, and he will wear it. So it's not only the 3-month guy, I get to do it within 6 months, right? And then, look, this is the result, okay? I'm definitely doing this. First of all, I want to do this for the listeners. I want to do it for myself, but I cannot lose to this guy, all right? He's one of my NBA buddies. We're like competitive, and I cannot lose to this guy. So I want him to see that. I want him to see me in that Elon Musk shirt, and I want that extra $1,000 on the bar tab. All right. So let's get to how I'm actually doing. So I've been lifting weights, feeling great, had a lot of sleep, but mate, I tell you what, I've started doing plyo training. So it's like plyometrics. You know those like jumps?
Yeah.
Have you ever done this?
Yeah. That's hard work, man.
Mate, I did like 15 minutes of it and I was shagged. Like seriously. It's so these are the types of things I'm doing. It'll be you stand on a bench and you jump off it and then up into like a tuck, right? And you out like a tuck jump. And you do that again and again and again. The next one is like max jumps backwards and forwards, then single leg jumps, dead jumps, and then like just jumping like over hurdles backwards and forwards. And my God, this stuff is just insane. I was sweating within 5 minutes. By 15 minutes, I wanted to die. The next day, I tell you what, I felt like just under my belly button and there's like bits that are like sticking out. And I'm like, oh, because I'm like, oh, have I got a hernia? What's going on here? No, what it was like all the like jumping and tucking and like they're essentially like reverse crunches that I was doing. And my body's like, you've never used these before. Plus all the food I was eating over Christmas. And man, it hurts. It hurts bad. So the training's going really well. We've got Crypto Jay's doing it as well. So he wants to dunk a basketball ring and he's getting on the treadmill. He's doing the smart thing. He's losing weight first. So, you know, if you lose some weight, you go higher. And then he's getting into the plyo training and weights. I'm kind of doing it all together. I've just ridden my bike as well, mate. I'm back on the bike.
Oh my
Went for a ride. Today I'm going for a ride down to the basketball ring and see how high I can go. And as of Christmas Eve, I can now touch a basketball ring.
Oh.
So I was 2 inches under. I can now jump up and touch it.
That's big growth.
So it's probably about there. Yeah, that's progress, baby. That is progress. So going from 0, can't touch it. Now I can touch the ring, which is amazing. So I've got about 6 inches to go to dunk it. And I reckon I'm going to get there, mate. JB, I'm coming for you, son.
$1,000 over the bar. Let's go. So we're going to have a meetup, Bergs. Ben and Bergs podcast list is a meetup. I think later next year, like after this 6 month mark, obviously you and I will probably miss some of our goals. We'll probably have a few $1,000 to throw over a bar at some stage. Maybe like I'm thinking, maybe like September, October, once the weather, I mean, it's Perth, right? We'll probably have it in Perth. The weather would be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll work it out. We'll do a poll. We'll probably end up having one in Perth, one in Melbourne. We'll just have two. Why not? We're meeting down the basketball court and we'll do some sick dunks, mate.
Nice, mate.
Then we're going to the pub.
So my results, Bergs, I've been working on my social media and happy to say ticked off everything leading up into my holidays. So right up until Friday last week. Posted on every day. Twitter's still rolling through. Having a bit of a break over this sort of time. I'll be launching back up in January, but ticked off the goal. And Bergs, just wanted to give our listeners some stats on how things have gone since I started this, sort of like in the last, let's just say couple of months. I can't quite get a month on. Yeah, let's do the last month on LinkedIn. So in 1 month on LinkedIn, I've had 121,000 impressions in a month on LinkedIn, which is pretty extraordinary. Engagement over the last month on LinkedIn, around 1,600 engagements, individual engagement. I'm not really even sure what engagements. Engagements for organizations, I think. Anyway, including reactions, comments, and reposts. So really happy with that. Then over on Twitter, Twitter's just absolutely taken off now. Little disclosure, I'm running some small engagement / follower campaigns on Twitter as well, because what I find is a lot of people will engage in your content, but then they don't follow. So what I'm doing is I'm sort of doing like a retargeting following campaign to trying to get to 10,000 followers on LinkedIn and Twitter. That's my goal. And in the last month on Twitter, I've had 280,000 impressions, which is just ridiculous. 20,000
for your follower count as well. That's insane.
Yeah, follower accounts up 346 this month, so I'm up to nearly 3,100. Had over 600 mentions and nearly 20,000 profile visits in the last month, which is extraordinary. So
that's wild.
Going those two there. Now, one thing. Oh, actually, in saying that, I missed out on my weekly YouTube video last week, which I'm not really happy about. So what I've actually done, Bergs, is I've ordered a iPad and I've ordered a teleprompter to help me with my YouTube content, because a lot of it's pretty crypto research heavy. It's hard to context switch away from CEO founder life into creating a 10-15 minute video on YouTube that's deep in crypto. But the video I did a couple of weeks ago is up to nearly, I think it's up to 2,600 views. So I just randomly did a video, 8-minute video on the crypto market, nearly up to 3,000 views on YouTube. So I need to start doing more of those. Just hard to sit down and actually knock them out. So that's going to be my focus for next year. But yeah, mate, it's been pretty good.
That's huge. And mate, speaking of views, we did have a little side bet about who out of you and I who would get the most views in Ben and Bergs, mate, and it just seems that I'm leading you at the moment, and there's only a few days left, mate. So unless you pull a rabbit out of the hat, I can't even remember what we bet, but I just remember the bet was on, mate.
We had a bet. Let's now actually, if we look at the collective, I've just accidentally gone to the collective shift one instead, Bergs. I've copped a 3.3 thousand view short. So
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Where are you up?
That's not Ben and Bergs, mate.
Where are you up to, mate? Well, just letting you know that I'm still leading in some way, shape, or form.
So this is, hey, I've created content for a channel consistently that has more followers than Ben and Bergs. Way more followers and subscribers,
that's
mate.
Fair.
Come on.
That's fair. So Bergs is
I think I'm at 2.7k, you're at 2.5.
And to be fair, you've got 4 out of the top 6. So I need to pick up my game here.
I'm glad that the market recognises the talent on the show.
Well, maybe. Hold up. Maybe we need to figure out, what the volume of shorts are going out on a ratio of you to me, because maybe we're producing more shorts of you than me. Now that would be a unfair advantage. So maybe
the reality is that you and the editors choose the shorts. I have nothing to do with them. So you guys are picking the best content, which just happens to be me. So I think you just need to up your game, man. You got no one to blame.
I'll never lie down and lose, mate. You know that.
Fight to the death. So your social media posting has been ultra consistent across all platforms, and I think definitely consistency is the key. Are there any other learnings that you've had from this, like how you put this together? Maybe the team you have, how you structure it, what it's doing for you. What other lessons do you have? Lessons learned from this?
That's a cracker episode. I think we could even do a full episode on my social media strategy. Do you want to, because I could probably do a 10-15 minute walkthrough of exactly how I do it.
All right, let's do it next episode.
Do it next episode. Right. Make sure, listeners, if you're keen to get to that episode, we'll do that next week. My social media strategy and exactly how I do it with the team I do it. with. So be on the lookout for that. Bergs, last but not least, Cramp of the Year, Meme of the Week and Middle of the Week.
All right, and then we got something spicy.
Cramp of the Year.
All right, let's go meme of the week. The memes were just a bit light on this week, but they still laugh. A little bit of a laugh here and there. I was going to do meme of the year, but Ben wouldn't allow me because it was a very spicy Queen Elizabeth meme. And of course, can't get cancelled. So here we go. We've got meme of the week. So this one came through and it's a 4-panel meme. You've got the brain on one side and then the person trying to sleep. First panel is, hey, you going to sleep? That's the brain. The person trying to sleep, yes, now shut up. Then the brain's like, there's a non-zero chance you're not going to wake up. And then she just goes to sleep happy. This is so good. This one had me in absolute stitches. Because the general meme on this is like the brain will say something and then the person will be like, oh my God, and you won't be able to sleep. You got the power of 1,000 suns. Whereas this is like the sweet release of death. Go to sleep. So good. So good. All right. Bit of a dark meme for everyone. Now this one here is the UK in the 1800s, and there's a doge who's absolutely jacked, and the UK now is just a fat doge sitting to the side crying. So in the 1800s, it was Napoleon has tried to bully us out of Europe with the continental system. Let's crush the French Navy and march on the mainland. Huzzah! And then the UK now is crying and goes, Brexit makes trade hard. So good. And just reflecting on like the European Union and Brexit, so good, so good. Well, it's what you voted for and it's what you wanted, so suck shit.
Fat Doge.
Yeah, that's it. And then I did have a final meme. Here we go. I'll just have to reshare this. And this is a girl crying and she's like, baby, please stop shit posting. You're not a niche celebrity, niche internet micro celebrity. And then old mate, he's just got his hoodie and his ciggy. He's like, my 6 followers need me. So this is just the epitome of me, where I'm just ready to burn it all down just for the lols of 6 people. And that's how I want to live my life. Stuff all this like corporate adherence and PC crap. I'm like, nah, the 6 people need me. Let's burn it all to the ground.
They need me.
And I'll be a happy man. I'll be in a nursing home looking back on that being, I'm so glad I posted that meme and I wasn't a little bitch. That's how I'm going to live my life, Ben.
Oh no, you're already living that life.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's I've got to be true to myself, mate. All right, let's go on to meal of the week. I'll kick this off, mate, because I've got a bit of a cracking one, mate.
Kick this off.
Oh, mate. So this. Can you see that, mate? This was at a barbecue joint. This was called Porky's, and this was just incredible. This was just my meal, by the way. That's how much food I ordered. I was a hungry lad, right? I was on the beers and I got hungry. So let's start off. This, mate, this is just a quarter rack of pork ribs. Let's start off with the ribs. Mate, just look at that rub. So first of all, you can see in the rub itself, you can see the spices through the bottom and then the glaze on the top. And these aren't super saucy, annoying ribs, but they're thick ribs. They're really smoky. They just bite through and they were just absolutely delicious. They were incredible. And on the side there, mate, you got smoked rice. So you've got, I think it's cut up brisket in there and then smoked rice. It was like smoked fried rice. This was just incredible. It knocked my head off. It was so good. And then, mate, the beef ribs. Oh, look at that, lad.
Wow.
So beef ribs, they're basically like mini briskets, mate. They start off huge, shrink right down. These were just fatty, delicious, just absolutely fell off the bone. And there was really a mustard and kind of almost apple cider vinegar sauce just to cut through the fat that was in the ribs. This is incredible. And then we have a token salad off to the side, mate, which was actually really good. So this was just like, big chunks of tomato, lettuce, walnuts, parmesan, red onion, a few other bits and bobs in there. And then they give you this big honking blue cheese sauce to pour over the top, mate. It was so good. This meal, honestly, I couldn't falter. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Mate. It was that good. So people in Perth that want decent barbecue, this was Porky's in, where is it? Bayswater. And this was incredible. It's just honest, good barbecue, decent portions. Oh, hold on. There was more. Dessert, mate. This was Oreo cheesecake. This was a big honking slice of cheesecake, only $6, and it was bigger than my head. It's got a full Oreo in the top, nice biscuit base. This was incredible. And then, look at that, mate, banoffee pie. look at those bananas down the bottom. That huge toffee layer was just incredible. And then that cream with like extra sugar in it. This was just like diabetes central. Again, this was only $6 for like this massive wedge. And mate, I'm going back like next week with the lads. We're having more beers.
Nice.
It was incredible, mate. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend.
Nice, man. We'll have to go next time. We've actually got a few lists lining up, mate. Restaurants have to attend when we come over. Right. This is my poor effort of a meal of the week. Apologies. This is me having a selfie. This is my dad, my uncle, and one of his mates, Justin. Every year we have our own Christmas function because we're all originally from Tassie. We're all from Tassie and we're all run our own businesses. So we have our own Christmas function. We don't work with each other. We're all self-employed. So we have our own Christmas function every year. Went out for beers, mate. It was a cracker day. You see it in the background. That was the first like proper like hot day in Tassie. Out in the sort of the beer garden. They had the windows up. And mate, it was just tapas. So we were just rolling through. We had seafood. We had dumplings. We had beef brisket. We had chicken wings, duck pancakes. It was just rolling through, mate. A few Coronas, sipping over it on a nice day, first day off of holidays. This was about the experience, mate. This was just like a proper, like, hey, we're on holidays. Cheers to that sort of afternoon. Got pretty messy in the afternoon. We kept drinking. We went to the pub after this. Didn't get photos there, thank goodness. But cracker day, mate. The food was beautiful. Down at Mud Bar there, if anyone's been to Launceston down the seaport. If Bergs ever wants to come to Tasmania, I might take him down there. But he's pretty anti-Tasmanian. So when we get him down there, we'll take him. But mate, this was
anti-Tasmanian, mate.
Mate, whenever I say come to Tasmania, you're like, nah, fuck off, mate. I'm not going to Tasmania.
You've never given me a reason to come to Tasmania. If you were like, come have some mutton bird, I'll be there straight away. But you're not. You're just...
Mate, we didn't have any mutton bird this year at Christmas. I was devastated.
Rugged.
Anyway, this was like a 9.5, mate. Just the experience was top notch.
It looks beautiful on the water there, mate. That looks incredible. And what I took away from that was you and your family are just unemployable. So you just need to start your own businesses, mate.
Unemployable and alcoholics. That's where we are.
I wasn't going to go that far, mate. But hey, now Ben, mate. All right, I got a little something for you. So hopefully this shares across. If not, we can edit it in after, mate. And I hope you can hear this. Can you hear it?
No, I can't, but I can see it.
Look at this crap, mate.
Cramp of the year. Oh my goodness.
What a man. Look at this. This is incredible. And wait, it gets better. You spill your coffee, it's all over. Mate, absolutely incredible. You dropped another thing.
Oh, mate, early days of the pod.
Oh, mate, that was like my favourite. And the best part about all of this was just the screenshots, mate. Just look at that face. Look at that head. Look at this. And look. Oh, mate. Oh. And then look at that, just screaming, mate, just screaming. Oh, fuck.
So for listeners at home, this was me after the Gold Coast Crypto Convention. It was basically just 3 days of talking, meetings, and just on the sauce. And by the fourth day, tried to rock up and do a pod with Bergs. Was very low on salt, very low on, very dehydrated.
Mate, you're one of the saltiest blokes I've ever met. What are you talking about, mate?
Mid pod I've just had the old right hamstring really clench, kicked back, knocked my coffee over, ripped the mic off the screen, off the desk. Sorry. Oh man, it was a disaster.
It was unbelievable scenes. It's one of the funniest things. So I'll get our editor to edit that video in so you can hear it on the pod because it is incredible. I had it playing in my headphones. Ben couldn't hear it when I was sharing it, but it was absolutely incredible. This is what we're going to look back on, mate, in like 10 years' time, and it's going to be hilarious even then.
Right,
mate. We've got a kindness and gratitude of the week. So my gratitude is just for family and friends, man. Like, geez, from last Thursday, we went to our friend's place, had a big cook up. Everyone brought their families, and it was just amazing. It was really good. After that, we went to another friend's place for Christmas Eve. It's like 4 families got together. All the kids were there. Had a big cook up, lots of wine, played heaps of cards, played board games. Just, it was amazing. And then Christmas Day, went to the in-laws. That was huge as well. And same thing, mate. Heaps of food, heaps of beers, lots of wine, lots of dessert. And then just sitting out the back. It's about 25 degrees, playing cards, playing board games, playing beanbag games. It was incredible, man. And my gratitude is just for family and friends and having them in my life. I'm very thankful.
Awesome, man. How good was Christmas with family?
So good, man. So good.
That's the same for me. My sister's back, so she moved to Bendigo a little while ago. She's playing the WNBL, so she moved to Bendigo. She's back for a week. Whole family's together. Just been good, man. Having the whole crew under one roof. We went to the beach yesterday. The whole fam had like fish and chips. Laid on the beach, got sunburnt, went in the water, a few laughs. Bit of cricket, so good.
That's amazing. We'll be doing that later this week, man. I haven't been to the beach yet, but we're going to go twice this week, and one of them is going to be the snorkeling one. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll report back.
That's good, man. I'm not sometimes big for one for the beach, but like when you actually get there, it's like it's just so relaxing.
It seems like so much effort, but when you go there, even if you just put your feet in the water, you listen to the waves.
Yeah.
It's complete mindfulness. Like you get in the water, you can't have your phone. You're just doing that. That's what you do.
Therapeutic. Yeah, it's good. Right, let's wrap it up there, mate. Thank you, everyone, for listening. If you like these episodes, we'd love for you to share with a friend and give us a rating or review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And if you have any feedback, send it across to either Bergs or I on Twitter. Mine is @BenSimpsonAU and Bergs is @BabybackBerg. And we'll see you next time.
See you, folks.